Do you suffer from stress, anxiety, or depression? Do you find it hard to focus or to contain your emotions? Any of these things can take you down. So, what then are your personal health practices? If you don't yet have an integral or holistic wellness practice, you're in the right place. Podcast host Susan Axelrod, the confidence coach, has been practicing holistic wellness for 25 years. Along the way, Qigong and Tai Chi found her. After tiptoeing in, she dove into a committed practice and became a teacher and integral wellness consultant. She'll tell you Qigong and Tai Chi changed her life. In this podcast, she interviews practitioners, inviting them to share their stories about how these practices changed their lives too. Go grab your journal. At the top of a clean page, write down, "I want to feel better." Then take a breath and tune in to see if Qigong and Tai Chi can help. Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of this important podcast series. Today is going to be fun because you're going to hear from someone who basically backed in to Qigong. So I'm excited to hear the story because this is one of the ways that many of us have gotten into this very special modality. My guest today is Maribella Armstrong. She is a registered kinesio therapist currently working in Geriatrics and Extended Care at Coatesville Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Coatesville, Pennsylvania. She's been doing this for 23 years. She had exposure to the healer within from growing up in the mountains of Yabucoa, Puerto Rico, with a grandmother who used natural healing resources found around her yard and in the woods to care for her family, farm animals, and community. She took advantage of an offer 4 to 5 years ago for an introduction to the healer within offered to VA employees as it resonated with her upbringing and wellness background. She began Qigong sessions for her patients every Friday 4 years ago and is still going strong. Hi, Maribella. How are you today? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Susan. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So I'm very intrigued by this because one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast series is to let people know how people got into Qigong. So we know a little bit about your story from your bio, which thank you for that. I want to ask you, how has Qigong changed your life?
I think it has changed my life, especially in how I care for myself, how I'm caring, being more mindful of how I take care of myself. Being a mom, a wife, and just a caregiver, I'm always in a rush. And, there's always those simple little things. I'm better at telling my patients how to take care of themselves and giving them, advice, health advice, exercise programs. But then when it comes to me, I feel like so rushed with everything. And I have found, just like learning from Dr. Roger Yanka and all his wonderful staff at the QTC, it's just you don't really need to complicate things. It's so simple. Like just even getting up in the morning, I take nice deep breaths. I'm noticing more my body. I'm noticing more my lung volume. How am I feeling? I can stretch somewhat, better. If I happen to sleep a little wrong, your neck gets crooked.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. I know that within 10 minutes, I got the healer within me and it's taken care of. I don't have to suffer all day long with a crooked neck and then getting the heat packs and doing all of this. Very simple practices. I could share this one for everybody because everybody could use it. Get up in the morning. I do my ring the temple gong, side to side. I thank the Lord above, because I'm a believer, um and for even for some that may not be, they might still know that there is a power out there. I'm just so thankful for every day that I have. And and as I'm doing my, I guess, prayers of thankfulness, in the morning, I can do that, ringing the bell gong, the temple gong, and I head for the shower. And in the shower, I'm letting the water, and even visualizing how the water not only is cleansing me, but actually soothing me. And having a kinesiotherapy background, and having this whole degree in education, for medical sciences, it just brings me back to, my biology books, and seeing how the cell membranes, how everything really works. And it gives me a deeper experience, even if it's just a 5-minute shower, of just feeling that water running through, doing its work, working in macro and micro areas, and then progressing as I'm soaping myself, doing the self massage, all those things. When I come out of the shower, um, especially now that it's winter here in Pennsylvania, it is so dry. Just applying lotion or even oils to my legs. I follow the chi channels,
Yeah.
and it makes such a difference. I've noticed also, and stop me if I'm rambling, but I'm very excited.
No,
Like,
I want to say, so I love this. I actually, not only is it not rambling, but I want to call in right now
yeah,
people's attention to listen to what you're literally teaching us right now about some
yeah,
of the baskets, we call them, of Qigong, right? So when
yes,
you said, when you're visualizing, you're in the water, this is what we call mind focus, which is part of the meditation basket in Qigong. And the body movement, you're putting lotion, you're moving your body, you're visualizing the meridians in your body, the energy centers and the channels where they are connected, and using self massage, which is another one of the baskets. And I want to let you know, I do this too. I
yeah,
really, I want to kind of like verify and affirm to people who are listening, does this work, what she's talking about? And you even started out by saying you don't need to complicate things. And these
yeah,
things that you just shared with us, people are doing anyway. There, and that's,
yes,
like you said, what we've learned at the Institute with Dr. Roger Yanka, that people are doing this anyway. And so
yes.
this is the whole deal, Maribella. I totally get it. I love what you're sharing here.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great results. Even for myself. By the time I am finished with that shower, and then putting the lotion on, and then just gently doing another movement basket, gently going to the side with the breath. It's amazing, like the power of the breath. Really, you can actually feel, and take the time, you can feel your muscles releasing and relaxing, things getting back into place. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, the easier, and the deeper your awareness becomes, um, to the point that by the time I'm done and I'm getting ready to go get dressed, the neck pain's gone. It's completely out, you know. Um, Same thing with, I even when I was getting ready last year for for and I guess everybody over 40s, in their 40s, um, for the colonoscopy done. I had gone 2.5 days without eating any food. And when I went in the morning of, I had this hunger headache, but I did not need to panic because I understood that the body is resilient and it's only hunger. It's not, I'm not starving, I'm not dying. It is just a physiological process. And when I was able to tell myself that and say, hey, you got enough reserves that you can go even weeks, it was easier. And then doing the breath work, the massage work, just doing different things. When I got there, they said, oh, what's your headache? What are you in any pain? I said, yeah, my headache's in about at a 9/10. And I said, but don't worry, I don't need medication. And it's like, but we can give you Tylenol. I said, no, I don't need that. I said, just give me 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to breathe and do my massage, and it's going to be okay. So the nurse comes back. She sees me doing these things. And when I get there, she asked me what the pain level was. It was a 2.
Oh my
And,
gosh,
and,
this is so good. I just want to say again, this is real. This
yes,
is true. It is 100%. And I loved how you just talked through that. First of all, you
yeah,
came into your mind focus, right? You came in and you
yes,
told yourself you knew things, and then you did your breathing, your self massage, some of this low body movement, and you created. This is what Dr. Yanka means by the medicine within. You
yeah.
actually did that. You, instead of having to take Tylenol, not that there's anything wrong with taking Tylenol, but you did that. And the nurse must have been like, holy wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I'd rather, yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking Tylenol, but I know for myself, I'm a person that if I take like vitamins or any kind of pills and an empty stomach, I'm going to feel sick.
Right.
And I I really don't like to feel nauseous. That it's awful. I much rather have the headache or a bum leg or something, but
Yeah.
I don't like being nauseous. So, um, it was just easy. It was just easier for me. I said, if I just breathe and relax, stretch and massage, my body will make the endorphins it needs. I'm telling it where it needs to go. I'm directing where the endorphins need to go in my body. And then it will be taken care of. And it was, you
Oh my
know.
gosh. This is the point. This is the point when I say to people who are listening to this, I want to invite you to tune in and really go back and rewind this and listen again to what you just said, because I'm here to say, it literally is true in the modality of Qigong. What you learn is what you just said, to breathe and relax, stretch and massage. And then you said, I'm directing where I want the endorphins to go. We have literally have something called directing Qi. And so I want to tell you that I'm participating in a research study at the university, where I have to do 30 minutes on a cycle at a pretty high
Okay.
rate. And I'm not a bicyclist, so this is not like I'm good at this. And it's a very important study. And instead of getting exactly the same as you, instead of getting nervous or upset or afraid or anxious about having to get on one of those bicycles
Yeah.
and pedaling for 30 minutes at a pretty
Yeah.
fast rate, I do the same thing. I go into my head, right? I go
Yes.
into the mind focus, and then my upper body is in mind focus, and I'm thinking about maybe a work project or something else in my
Yeah.
head while my lower body is simply doing the movement. And this
Yes.
is this, I've done this multiple times. This is really true and real. I love so much how you are teaching us, helping us to understand that these are simple practices that
Mhm.
anyone can do. You literally just told us how to do that. And this
Yeah.
really is why these conversations are important and helpful. Do you do this work with your patients as well, where you work?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I do. And I've actually gotten amazing results. I have a patient in particular that he had come in with just uncontrollable back pain. And they were trying to see if he was a rehab candidate. The physical therapist has seen him. At that point, he was not. He really needed pain management. So because he was at a state that he could not even sit up, they transferred him from the short stay area towards the nursing home because they weren't sure what are we going to do with this patient.
Mm.
And I said, I will take him. I can work with him. I will be able to help him. And the first thing I did was breath work. Just
Mm.
that was it. It was just learning to breathe and relax. And he went from, in 1 year, from not being able to sit up, um, even in the bed. He couldn't even sit up in the bed to now he's walking.
Oh my gosh.
Today, completely with three rest breaks with the two-wheel walker. I didn't even have to hold on to him. I started him in kinesiotherapy sessions 4 to 5 days a week. He's able to bicycle. He's able to do arms, weights. We do different stretches. I was able to teach him how to fall gently, like what happens when you get out of your wheelchair, or if you need to come out, how do you get back up in it without any help? Now it was 3 weeks ago, I believe, was the first time I actually also do aquatic therapy for my veterans. And I do that with him once a week. He has loved The Healer Within. I actually gave him the book because he started going to my classes and he said, this stuff really works.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and his sciatic pain, when he travels, he does it. His family said, did you teach him how to do this? He's there moving, sitting in the passenger seat, breathing, and then it's controlling his pain. And then he's able to get out of the car. I was like, yes. I said, and he's available to you as well. So, so he's teaching now his family, he's teaching his grandchildren how to do these practices. And it is beautiful to see that. And 3 weeks ago, we were at the pool, we come out, and he said, oh my goodness, he comes out laughing out of the locker room in his wheelchair. And I said, what's going on? And he said, you're not going to believe this. This is the first time in years I've been able, my left foot, my left leg, and I myself. He said, he had not been able to do that in almost 3 years. So and now he's waiting for surgery because he has different loose hardware in his back. So meanwhile, he is getting stronger. He's learning all these practices and he's preparing himself for when surgery will come. And
Right.
it's amazing that a year ago, no one had any hope for him. He was not a candidate for this. He was not a candidate for that. And now, like, even he's not on any heavy duty pain meds because he's learning, he's still on some pain meds, but not anything crazy, you know. And actually, between using this modality has been huge in reducing the pharmaceutical use, you
Yes.
know. And he is loving it because now he's not having all those side effects, you know.
Right.
And
Well,
then
we do know, I mean, we do know there's a lot of research on this. We know there's research on the reduced use of pharmaceuticals. Listen, I mean, this time went so fast. I want to say thank you so much. I mean, these stories are this is what I love about these discussions. You know, we're all sort of just regular people, but this story that you just shared with us is really miraculous. And so I want to invite people to tune in and understand. I'll post the book, The Healer Within, also in the YouTube notes, in the show notes, so that people know where to access it, because that was also my introduction to Qigong. So Maribella, thank you so much for joining me today. And also I want to say, keep up the amazing work that you're doing, and especially working with our veterans, but anybody who comes into contact with you, because now that patient's family members are going to be doing it too. So
yes,
you never know.
I
Exactly. Thank you so
understand.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know there's staff that want to do it as well. So in the summer, I might be opening something up in Zoom to include more people, and then they can be equipped to go on. So, but thank you so much for this time, Susan. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
absolutely. If there's anything you need, any way I can support you, for you to be the teacher of other staff, for them to help more patients, please call on me. Okay.
Okay, Susan,
All right.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Take good care.
Thanks. Bye bye.